Welcome, everyone. So glad you're with us today. And today we have a restorative practice for the end of the year. In many traditions, if you practice every single day, then one of the days of the week out of the 7 would be a restorative practice. And in those same type of traditions, they would spend the whole last week of the year practicing restorative yoga. This is a nod to that practice and that we are in the last week of the year and practicing now some restorative yoga. In restorative yoga, you are held up by props and you are trying to find the place of deep rest and place of deep comfort. So if you are uncomfortable at any point in any of your poses, it's completely fine to let them go and just make adjustments as you go through your practice this evening. Again, it's this place of deliberate stillness, coming to a place of stillness and staying there for several minutes at a time. When you do this, you can activate a deep relaxation response in your body. Your whole body can rest, and these are called restorative poses because they bring a kind of interior restoration. They restore your energy. They restore your vitality, especially when practiced regularly. So that's why we want to practice these poses, to cultivate inner stillness and to restore your innate vitality. Take a good seat to begin. Rest your hands in your lap or on your thighs and close your eyes. Tune in. Connect for a moment with how your physical body feels. The sense that you get of how is your mind in this moment, your emotions, your energy. It could all be running in different directions, and that's completely fine. Now tune into your breath and know that just by slowing down, having this time of stillness, your body, your mind, your heart will begin to integrate and come into alignment with each other. And will bring you a sense of wholeness. So now join your palms and lift them in front of your heart. Connect with an intention for this practice. We'll sound our intentions together by chanting Om. Welcome your in-breath. Om. Bow your head to your heart. Release your hands to your thighs and lift your head to open your eyes. We start with just a little bit of movement to get your body warm enough to be able to rest deeply. Otherwise, you'll become sore by doing the restorative postures. So start by coming onto your back. You don't need your props just yet, but you can have them close by. Come down onto your back and place your hands on your belly. Allow your body to settle towards the floor, but bend your knees and place your feet on the mat. Tune in to your breath. Notice the gentle rise of your hands on your inhale and settling back in on your exhale. In general, we tend to breathe up into the upper chest. So over the course of the next few breaths, send your breath deeper and deeper into your body, down towards your belly. When you inhale, your belly rises. When you exhale, your belly softens. Ever so gently now bring your right knee in towards your chest. You could clasp your hands in front of your shin or behind your thigh, or not at all. It doesn't have to come close in, just comes where it's comfortable. Then cross your right ankle over your left knee and widen your right knee out to the right. Stay just like this, or bring your left knee in towards your chest and clasp behind your left thigh. Activate your right foot and widen your right knee away from your face, keeping your face soft, and allow your breath to continue to move easy. Gently release, place your left foot on the floor, place your right foot on the floor, and switch sides. Bring your left knee in towards your chest, clasp. Doesn't have to come close in, just to the place where it's comfortable. And then cross your left ankle over your right knee and widen your left knee out to the left. Stay just like that, or bring your right knee in towards your chest and clasp your hands behind your right thigh. Without tightening your jaw, widen your left knee away from your face. Breathe deep into your belly. Soften and release. Place both feet on the mat. Gently stretch out both legs, just for a moment. And bend your knees again. Place your feet on the floor. Take your feet out about as wide as your mat now, and your arms into a cactus or a T position. Drop both knees to the right side. Activate your legs and squeeze your heels a little bit towards your buttocks. Then scoop your tail and reach through your left thigh towards the front of your mat. This elongates the muscles on the top of your left thigh and opens up the whole left side of your body, which will make it a little easier to soften into the supports during the restorative part of the practice. Inhale and bring both knees up into the center. Exhale and take both knees in the opposite direction. Again, lightly pull your heels towards your buttocks. Scoop your tail and lift in your low belly, and reach through your right knee towards the front of the mat. Softening your jaw, allow your breath to move. Inhale and slowly bring both legs back up into the center. Stretch both legs out straight once again. Now bend your knees and roll over to one side to come all the way around for table pose for cat and cow. This is to warm up your spine before we ask it to bend in the restorative poses. Bring your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Curl your toes under if your feet can handle that right now. Inhale, take your sitting bones up and your heart forward and up. Exhale, scoop your tail and round through your spine to look in towards your heart. And go back and forth several times in cat and cow. Allow the deepening breath to help to heat your body just a bit. A warmer body will have an easier time relaxing. After your next exhale, come into a neutral spine. Walk your knees back a few inches and either pull your hips back into a modified child's pose, sort of between child's pose and down dog, or lift your knees up and lift your hips up to come into full downward facing dog. Wherever you are, make your arms firm and strong. If you're in full down dog, make your legs steady and be very active in this pose, both to build heat and to turn your muscles on, engage them before you come into restorative posture. Breathe deeply and notice the ground here supporting you in down dog. Let the heat build for just a moment longer. And exhale, bend both knees all the way down to the mat to prepare for your first restorative posture. For this posture, you need 2 blocks, a blanket, and a bolster. You might choose to have another blanket to cover you if you're going to be cold in this position. Take your bolster long ways and place it right in the middle of your mat with the head of your bolster right up where your head would be for Shavasana. Take your blanket, folded, right at the place where your head will be on your bolster. And then come and sit at the end of your bolster. So your lower back is just right at the bolster. Bring the soles of your feet together and your blocks out to the sides. So the blocks go under your knees. The more open you'd like your legs to be in your Baddha Konasana, the further up your leg your block goes and under your knee. So if you want more support, bring your block closer to your thigh, to your hip. And you can even turn your block to a higher height for even more support. I personally very open in my hips, but I still like a lot of support. So I place the blocks right on my outer thighs. Then if you're going to be chilly, you can take the other blanket and place it over your body. Take your hands behind and lean back. There'll come a point where your lower back doesn't feel good. It'll feel compressed. Then you lift up your butt and scoop it under to rest back onto the bolster. Put your butt back down on the floor and your head lands on your blanket. Your hands can rest on your belly or out to the sides. Take a moment to become comfortable and then closing your eyes, receive 2 or 3 deep, full breaths. With every exhale, sink more deeply into the props that are supporting you. We'll stay in this position for several minutes. Remember that if you become uncomfortable, it's perfectly fine to come out of the posture at any time. To prepare to come out of this posture, take a few slow, deep breaths. Slowly now bring your knees together and roll to one side. Take your arm across, roll over to one side, push down into the floor to come back up to sitting. Our next posture is called Mountain Brook Pose. Take your blocks out of the way. You don't need them for this posture. Take your bolster across your mat where your legs were. Take one blanket and fold it into a column. This one goes on the opposite side, just out from your bolster. And your next blanket, if you have one, can be like a pillow for your head. You could also use a regular pillow, or if you don't have anything else, you don't have to have one. For this posture, bring your thighs over your blanket so your knees rest on your bolster. Support yourself to rest back and line up so that your shoulder blades come onto your blanket and your head comes onto the last blanket if you have it. But your shoulders rest in the space between those two blankets. Take your arms out to the sides. Your body should have ripples like a mountain brook, where your knees ripple up, your pelvis is down, heart ripples up, shoulders are down, and head is a small ripple as well. Take a moment to become very comfortable, make any adjustments that you need. Then welcome 2 to 3 deep breaths. With your exhales, sink more deeply into your posture. Allow yourself to be held by the support of the props as you drop down, down, down into the pose, into relaxation. Softly take 2 deep, full breaths to prepare to leave this pose. And to transition, gently bend your knees. Might be easeful to slide your bolster a little away from you. And again, roll to one side. Push down into the mat and come up slowly. Next, we have a side lying twisted posture. Take your bolster and place it again long ways on your mat. If you are shorter bodied, shorter in your torso, this might be enough support. For most of us, it will feel better to have the blanket on the bolster to add a little more height. So I've got the column blanket on the bolster. Because it's chilly where I am, I'm going to use my second blanket to cover in just a moment. Now, I'm going to bring one hip to the side of the bolster and fold your legs in as if they are, going to be in a twist or a child's pose. Now I'm going to take the blanket over my legs, over on this side. And you have a couple of options for how you approach this pose. The milder option would be to rest the side of your body out along your bolster. Lay your head down and wrap your arms around. Really beautiful way of practicing this pose. Another way to do it is to ask for more twist out of your body. So to do that, you lift up and now turn in your navel and your ribs towards your bolster and walk yourself out along the bolster, resting down. I recommend that you start by turning your head in the same direction as your knees as you rest down. And then over the course of the few minutes that we'll be here, you may find that you could turn your head away. Turning your head away from your knees is even more of a twist. So you've got to gauge that for yourself. But you rest your head all the way down and rest your arms by your sides. Take a moment to become comfortable here. You may want to cover up even more. Closing your eyes, allow your breath to deepen. Take 2 or 3 breaths to settle into the pose. If you have turned your head away from your knees, gently lift it and turn it back in the direction of your knees. Receive 2 sweet, deep breaths, preparing to leave this side of the posture, and push down through your hands. Let your head be heavy and slowly come back up. To switch sides for this posture, it's easy to just turn away from your bolster, bringing your knees to the ceiling, and then take both knees to the other side, switch to the opposite hip, and come to the other side. Now remember, you can be very much on the side of your hip rather than sitting up. Slowly lean yourself out over the second side of this pose, either side lying or turn your belly and your chest toward the bolster and turn your head. Rest down. Take a few moments to become very comfortable in this new side and receive some full, even breaths. With your exhale, allow the props to absorb your body and your body to sink in as if it's absorbing the props. Allow yourself this time to rest. If you have turned your head away, gently lift it and turn it back in the direction of your knees. Welcome to full breaths. Slowly walk your hands back under your shoulders. Let your head stay heavy. Push down, slowly come back up to sitting. We finish with Shavasana. You can take any version of Shavasana that feels good to you, including moving to a wall and putting your legs up the wall if you're familiar with that. The Shavasana I'll teach today is called Cocoon Shavasana. You sort of make a cocoon for yourself. So you don't need your bolster for this version. Take your bolster out of the way and bring your legs out ahead of you. One blanket is making like a cocoon. So my feet are separate, but I take the blanket and tuck it in under my legs. That can go all the way up to your hips. Have your second blanket back where your head is going to be. So once you're tucked in, you can settle back. Just you might have to tuck a little more as you come down. Settle back, and this part of the blanket is here if you want to cover more. Then take the second blanket and make yourself extra sensory padding, sensory removal. And take it over your eyes and even tightly around your ears. Could even tuck it up under your head. So it's like a little pillow and also sensory deprivation. It's a little funky to get adjusted, but you find a sweet spot. And that way you block out any extra light, any extra sound, and allow yourself to get settled in. And if that's not comfortable, of course, choose another variation for Shavasana. Then either bring your arms by your sides or tuck them under the blankets by your sides, or I sometimes rest them on my belly. Take a moment, find a comfortable position for Shavasana. And again, allow your breath to deepen as your body begins to let go. Offer yourself this deepest moment of rest now in Shavasana. If you are resting well and you wish to continue, please do. If you're ready to return, gently deepen your breathing. Call yourself back up to the surface. And softly move. Move your fingers and your toes. Stretch and move your body in the way that feels good as you awaken. Slowly bend your knees. Roll to your right side and pause. Come into stillness again. Now push your hands down into the floor and sit back up. Bring your hands into your lap or rest them on your thighs. Close your eyes again. Tune in to your inner experience. How is your body now? Your mind, your emotions, your energy. Bring your palms and join them in front of your heart. May this practice of deliberate stillness put you in touch with that stillness that is always there inside of you. That place that is full of peace and ease. May we return to this place as often as needed, and may we carry it with us out into the busyness of this world, that we may become beacons of peace for others. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, bow your head to your heart. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. May it be so. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Hope that you feel a sense of ease and peacefulness. Take good care, and I'll see you the next time. Be well, everyone.